Hello, welcome to the Lone Show. I'm your host, John Malone. In this episode, we do not have any regulars, because reasons, and also the end of the world. But we'll go to that later. As for our guest, he is from India. He's currently in Wisconsin. He's a pharmacist, author, entrepreneur, and a musician. Interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Sanjib Nandi.
Thank you, Johnny, for inviting me in your podcast. I hope I can
Anytime.
give you some of the information tips for your listeners so that they can benefit in their life.
Yes, absolutely. So, how's life?
Um, Life is good. It's up to every individual to make their life good because, if you see life in general, it all depends upon what you are thinking. If you are thinking good and positive, your life can be as happy and as good as possible. And if you're thinking negative, your life can be as negative and as miserable as possible. So it all depends upon you.
Yes, absolutely. And have you been up to much recently?
I keep myself busy all the times. I'm working on my app, which is called Luvo Calming Guided Meditation. Means I've been working on this app for the past 2 years. It's a free app, and I will definitely suggest your listeners to download this app. It has a lot of useful information and tips. And anybody who is interested in doing meditation, that will be a platform. And even if you're not interested in meditation, it has so many other things at the same time. Like we have exercise, we have sleep analysis, we have live sessions for healthy eating, yoga, we have gratitude, we have blogs to gain knowledge. So we have a lot of informations there.
Fabulous. And what is it particularly you mainly do for a living?
Johnny, that's a very good question. For a living, I'm still a pharmacist. I work in Walmart pharmacy, but I do have interest in other things because I don't want to be labeled as a pharmacist. As you know that every human being has immense potential, and it's up to that individual to reach that full potential. So, I am in a journey or odyssey to reach my full potential. How much I can know or how much I can gain now knowledge so I can reach my full potential. That is my journey. I don't know how far I can go. I don't know how much knowledge I have, but I still, push myself every single day. And I'm learning a lot of things in my journey. I launched my first book in 2021, which is called The Man with Zero Talent. I have a YouTube channel which is called Luvo Productions. I have 21 songs in Spotify. I have an app. I went to Africa to climb the Mount Kilimanjaro. So, there are a lot of things which I was scared of in my life. I was scared of public speaking at one time. So I want to explore my life. I wanted to go deeper inside myself and see, what is possible. And the message to everybody listening to this podcast is, you all have potential. The only thing is you have to go a little deeper inside yourself. If a man can zero talent, can do, a little bit, sky is the limit for you.
Hmm. Yes, absolutely. So, where do you see yourself 20 years from now?
That's again a very great question. So where do I see years down the lane? I don't see myself retiring. That's the first thing because, I wanted to keep working on new things. I wanted to, you know, invest more time into, music. Um, but I wanted to create much more things what I have done. I don't want to stop where I have stopped myself. So, life is all about exploring yourself. Again, I don't have all the answers, but I take a step every day towards, self improvement. Um, I definitely see myself going, far, and it's not related to, money. I am not attached to money, but I'm definitely attached to reaching my full potential and helping people at the same time. I don't know whether it answers your questions or not, but pushing myself to the edge and helping people is my ultimate goal, and I see, going as far as possible in that journey.
Sweet. So, out of being a pharmacist, author, entrepreneur, and musician, which of the four do you enjoy doing more of?
I think, music is something which interests everybody. Music can change your state of mind. A good music. So definitely, I'm inclined more to music. When I was younger, I learned music. I don't know whether you know of the instrument. It's called tabla. I used to play tabla, and I have practiced that for, close to 8 to 10 years. So I do have a little bit background, in music. And I think, when I get bored in my other activities, like if I'm bored, doing my pharmacist thing, if I'm bored doing my app thing, if I'm bored, reading about, self improvement or self help books, music is the place, um, which, helps me, change my state of being. So I definitely say, that is a sweet spot for me.
Okay, I can see that. So, as an author, how many books have you written or published as of now?
Johnny, I have written just one book, and the book name is called The Man with Zero Talent. And it's all about coming out from negativity to positivity and become a better version of yourself. And, I have touched many different topics in that book. I have touched, how to do meditation. I have touched about healthy eating. I have touched about how to become a better version of yourself. I have touched about, emotional intelligence, about leadership. So it's a complete package. So that's the one book which I have written, but I intend, or, I have written, I will say, half of my second book, which is related to consciousness. And, I have named the book as Me and My Consciousness, but I'm still working on that book.
Okay, that's great. So, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Again, a very good question, Johnny. Where do I wanted to live? I have lived in India for 26 years. I lived in UK for 5 years. I have lived in United States in 14 years. I have been to Africa just for visiting. So the only continent which is remaining is Australia. Where do I want it to live? I think it doesn't matter as long as you can keep your mind clear. You will be happy wherever you are living. You can live in a jungle, or you can live a solitude life, or you can live in the busiest city in the world. Doesn't matter. So for me, I think it doesn't make any difference. I think I'm so used to living in a busy populated place because I have lived in New York. I think that is the busiest place, and I have lived in India, which is again a busiest place. So I think it doesn't make much difference to me. I think I have learned, or I have trained my mind to live a happy life.
Fabulous. And this is a question from the top of my head. Have you ever thought about sending mail to Bigfoot?
Sending mail to,
Bigfoot.
what is that about?
You don't know what Bigfoot is?
No.
Oh, okay. So basically, Bigfoot is like this massive, hairy creature that walks like a human and lives in the woods. People think it's real, other people don't think it's real, and it does beg the question: if Bigfoot, the creature, does exist, how would it be possible to send mail to it if it lives somewhere in the woods?
Definitely, there is a way to send. I don't know whether we can say it a mail, but definitely you can send a message, because how do we talk in this universe? We have our cell phones. All the messages is going through ether. So if I have to communicate with the Bigfoot, if I wanted to connect with him, I think I can definitely send him a message. It might not be a email, or it might not be an actual message, but our brains can send messages, because we can send our messages to a different human beings, and we can get the messages which is floating around in the universe, and get the same messages, because we don't know all the answers, but there are some of the ways, or there is some communication which happens if you believe in spirituality, that you are able to connect with any human being, whether it's a Bigfoot or anything else. If you really wanted to communicate, yes, there is a way, and it's all about connecting your mind with the other person.
Hmm, I never thought of it that way. Sounds interesting.
Did you read about the book by Napoleon Hill, uh, Think and Grow Rich?
I don't think I have.
Okay, so that book tells us about our brain is kind of a transmitter. So what it says, that we receive messages, and we can transmit the messages through our brains. We don't know how, but there is a way that we can send, because some of the times you will see that you don't know the answers, but you will get those answers from somewhere. Maybe you can call it a universe, maybe you can call it your spiritual god, or anything else. But these messages, or these thoughts, vibrate at a frequency. And if you're vibrating at a higher frequency, then you can definitely, connect to that thought. And if you're vibrating in a negative thought, you connect with negative people and negative thoughts.
Okay, cool, cool. What kind of music do you often listen to?
I often listen to music, maybe you can say a little bit of jazz, maybe Indian classical, as I'm from India, and maybe sometimes any beats which I listen to. But there is nothing as specific, but it's more classical music.
Hmm, all right then. Would you rather there be a ding sound every time you wink, or a cartoonish gun sound when you make a finger gun?
Can you repeat that question again?
Okay, it's a long one. That's understandable. Would you rather there be a ding sound every time you wink, or a cartoonish gun sound when you make a finger gun?
I don't understand the question exactly, so
It's like cartoons, animation kind of stuff.
okay.
That's
Yeah,
the
I'm
question's
not
about.
into cartoon and animation, so it will be kind of hard for me to answer that question. So I'm sorry,
It's alright.
Johnny.
I understand. It's actually the first time I've ever asked someone that question, so it's perfectly fine. I understand.
That's fine.
Yeah. If your mind was a meal, what kind of meal would it be?
That's an interesting question. If my mind is a meal, I'm a foodie by nature, but if my mind is a meal, I will have, different things in my plate. I will have some baked chicken, I will have some broccoli, I will have, some kind of soup, maybe, creamy potato soup. Um, I will have some kind of salad. It can be a green salad. And I like sweet, so I will have some kind of, cheesecake or some kind of cake.
Okay, that's cool. I just realized that question I asked you was like a merger between two other questions. If your mind was an island, what would it look like? And if your life was a meal, what kind of meal would it be? So the question I just asked you is a merger between the two questions, and it was so funny just realizing what I just said.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
I replied about the meal. And regarding if you are asking about the island, if my mind is an island, where do I want it to go if my mind is a, island? Maybe to Hawaii. I don't know whether you know of a place called Hawaii.
Oh yeah, I've certainly heard of Hawaii. It's a beautiful island and great local cuisine. It's quite the culture. It's vibrant and vibes.
Yes. So I think that is the place, where I wanted to go to relax my mind and to have the meal of my lifetime.
Fabulous. That makes sense. What could you give a 40-minute presentation on without any preparation?
I think I can talk about meditation for definitely more than 40 minutes. I like to talk about, how our brain works, how we can become a better version of ourselves, life in general. So yeah, these kind of topics definitely I can speak about.
Hmm, fabulous. It's it's giving me a brainstorm that one. I love it.
That's good.
Yes, I love it. If someone wrote a book about you, what do you think its title would be?
Wow, that's again a good one, Johnny. If somebody will write a book, they can definitely write a book, A Man with Multiple Talents.
Okay. Someone writing a book about you saying a man with multiple talents, and you wrote a book about a man with no talents, kind of. It's like
Yes.
it's a massive oxymoron, but it just makes sense when you think about it. Incredible. I know this is going to be an obvious answer to this question. Do you like spicy food?
Johnny, I used to like spicy food, but as I have left India for a long time, as I've been living outside India from 2002, so it's been 20 years. So I don't like that much spicy food. I eat, normal spice, just to taste it better. But I'm not into spicy food so that it bothers my stomach.
Ah, okay. I can see that. Ah, what is your favorite quote?
There are so many favorite quote, but if I have to tell one, I can think, it's about Michael Jordan. Uh, the quote goes something like that I have missed 300 shots in my life. 26 times I was interested to take the match winning shot. I have lost over and over again, and that is the reason I'm successful today. Something like that is goes on. So it's regarding Michael Jordan. So basically, to paraphrase it, it says, he has failed so many times in his life, and that is the reason he's successful today.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. There's always something about Michael Jordan that he has potential, he has the influence, he is the moment, and it makes a lot of sense.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, I agree. If you had to lose one of your senses, which would you choose to lose?
Wow. Which one? I never thought about this, Johnny. Which sense I will lose? I think the only sense which I wanted to lose is touch. I think, if I lose the sensation of touch, I think I will still be, okay. As long I can see, I can hear, I can smell, I can taste, I think I can still survive. What do you think?
Maybe, maybe. You have a chance. A bit of a stretch, but you can still make it for sure.
Yes.
What is your favorite holiday tradition?
But yes, again, as I said, Johnny, I like to eat food. So, you know, having a plate full of, chicken, rice, whatever I can grab and eat, heartfully, that will be, kind of a traditional meal, you can say, which I will enjoy it.
All right then. What was life for you growing up?
Yeah, life was definitely good. I will say, it was, like easygoing. It was not stressful. Yes, there was definitely stress, but it was, only about, going to school, finishing your homework, doing the school work. That was only the pressure or the stress, I have, when I was growing up. So you can say, I have a pretty good, younger times, and I think most of the people, have, you know, a easy life when they are growing up. Till I can say around 15, 16, or 20, the life is, decent. I think, the life become a little bit stressful once you have to make a living. Again, it is my opinion, and once you touch 35, it becomes a little harder. Again, it's my general opinion, what I have realized in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. What always makes you laugh?
What always makes me laugh? I think good jokes, comedy, good jokes can definitely make any human being laugh. And it can be any joke. It can be a joke about me. I think I can laugh on my jokes. I think I'm old enough to laugh on my jokes. I think maybe when I was younger, I might not have taken it, in a good sense. But, as I'm getting older, I think I'm good laughing at, myself too. So any kind of jokes, maybe it's on myself, I can take it humbly now.
Ah, interesting. I'm pondering on it for a few moments, and I absolutely I stand by it. Would
Definitely, because, as you grow older, you tend to take life in a different, perspective. When you're young, you take it personally, but, as you grow older, you don't take it personally. I don't know how old are you, but, I am 46 years old, so I don't take anything personally.
okay, that's understandable. Would you consider yourself to be an extrovert or an introvert?
Oh, there is no doubt. What do you think?
Extrovert?
No.
Oh,
I'm an
dang,
introvert. I'm
dang.
an introvert. And, when I was growing up, I was an introvert. And I think I changed in the last couple of years. I was, Johnny, very scared of public speaking. I was, scared to death, speaking in a podium, or, going to a stage show, or, doing a podcast. But, I have gained I will say, the courage to stand in front of the audience. And I think I'm comfortable, speaking with any audience. And if it is related to the topic which I'm passionate about, I can definitely connect with any human being. But I'm still introvert, but I can, communicate, if there is a big audience, yes.
Ah, okay, that's cool. How did you spend your last birthday?
Last birthday, it was May 26th. So, how did I spend my last birthday? I was definitely working because it was Friday. I was not off. So, I worked from 8 to 4. Then I came home. I like to have tea. So, I had my tea. And then, I spent some time um, checking my email, and then I went out with my son to have dinner. And that was my whole day. Definitely, I spoke with, a couple of my friends who called me. But other than that, it was a easy, relaxing day. As I said, I'm not, as young or as adventurous as I used to be. I like to be, nice and quiet, and that is what I like.
Nice. I like that. And that is all we have for this episode. It was great having you here, Sanjib, talking about your works as a pharmacist, author, entrepreneur, musician, and a lot of other things. It's been fabulous.
Thank you, Johnny, for inviting me in your podcast. I hope your audience will, get a little bit benefit, or, get a little bit insight about me. And if they wanted to connect with me, they can definitely connect with me in the Facebook page, The Man with Zero Talent. They can definitely download the app, which is called Luvo Calming Guided Meditation. And they can definitely, connect to Luvo Production. It's a YouTube channel. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. And until next time, stay tuned for more.